The first deck we're going to be playing today is a Soviet-US mid-range deck. This is a list I've had a fair amount of success with on the ladder. And we're just throwing in some new Theaters of War cards in it and seeing if we can, just seeing how they feel. So the main changes here, as we have a Heroes of the Soviet Union, one of the new choose one elites from the expansion. I think this is probably one of the best, if not the absolute best, of the 5 that we got from the expansion, simply because the Soviet Union, not only do they have, I think they have one of the higher number of elite units in the game. You know, a lot of nations have, pretty much all the nations have the same number of elites, but they're split between orders and units, and I think the Soviets have the highest unit to order ratio. And you'd think that would make this card bad because it makes it less predictable of what it grabs, but the thing is that the Soviets have some of the best elite units in the game, if not the best elite units in the game. Most of which just can make be very impactful on games. So I mean, you can see several that we're running in the deck, you know, piecemeal already. We got the 329th Engineer Battalion here, 4th Kuban Cossacks. Those aren't bad hits in some situations. First Rifles as well. 83rd Naval Brigade is one of the hits you can get. I mean, this is just like the best thing that they can be doing. It's a critical hit attached to a 4/4 ambush guard for 6. Solid unit. This might be the best unit in the game, just pound for pound, what it's doing for its cost. I'm not running any other elite units up at the top end because depending on the matchup would determine whether or not what you want to run, and like this kind of replaces those. So sometimes you can find like the KV-1 with this if you need like extra reach against like a control deck or something. If you need a bigger punchier unit, you can get the IS-2 with this. In some situations you might even grab the what's that 7-drop tank that deals a ton of damage to HQ, ISU 152. So, you know, some of these elites that it can grab, depending on the situation, are, you know, it lets you kind of pick and choose and tailor your strategy based on that. So we're running so we're trying that out today. Something else we're trying out here at the top end, this card here, 17th Rifle Regiment, 6 cost, 5/5 Blitz Smokescreen. At the start of your turn, fully repair this unit and give it +1/+1. So I think it's just, again, pound for pound, very powerful unit, potentially, especially if it goes unchecked. You know, if you can destroy multiple of their units and multiple enemy units, and just this keeps getting repaired, you can just gain a ton of value with it. And it's just something that can actually, because it has Blitz, and you can put it to the front line on turn 7. It's already a decent stat line, and the fact that it gets more and more powerful every turn means this puts a significant clock on the table for your opponent. I mean, basically, this thing hits them 3 times and they're dead, right? So we're trying that out here at the top end. I replaced a couple of Yak 9s and the 5/7 infantry that generates the T-34, which might be wrong. I still might want that card in this deck, but you know, can only fit so many cards in your deck, so we're just trying this up at the top end instead. And final like big change is we're trying the other new elite from Theaters of War, Tractor Factories. Just adding 10 power to the table for 9k seems good. If we're up at 11 or 12 resources, we can attack or move one of them up as well if we need to. I could see this card being really good in a ramp deck because of that. Incidentally, if we wanted to run, instead of some of these US cards, we want to run like a ramp package, that could be kind of interesting with a card like this, because even getting to like get 2 blitz tanks, and then one of which you can move up and attack with in the same turn for, what is that, 13 resources, seems like it'd be pretty good. But that's perhaps a deck for another day. I think just the fact that this adds 10 power to the table across 2 bodies for 9 is just solid enough to be running at the top end here. And so that's pretty much it. This list is Mostly the same other than that, if you're familiar with the list that I was playing last season. So anyway, without further ado, let's jump on the ladder and see how we do. Good morning, your boy Rodri. How are you doing this fine Friday? Ugh. Probably want the hammer against an L Alamein or a German major. Could take or leave the Hellcat. I'm not 100% certain on that. I think we'll just look for more, you know, turn 1 and 2 plays if we can. Sure. It's kind of an annoying card because we don't have a clean way of killing it without it drawing. Well, we don't have any real way of killing it outside of, I guess, these random destroy effects. Without it drawing a card, and things like Katyusha obviously can make it draw 2, which is awkward. Our opponent's probably playing mid-range, though, based on their start. That's not a bad hit. There's something that we can take it out in one shot. I think I'm actually going to throw down this card. So I have a couple options here. I could hammer this, shoot this. I don't think I want to shoot this, move one of these up, because it just gets eaten by these two. Which isn't like the worst. It's not the worst, but I don't know that I want to... I don't know that I want this to get that kind of value. I could put the 15th motor rifles out. We might end up having to hammer this anyway, is the thing. So, yeah, I guess we'll just do this. It kind of sucks that this had to take 3 damage right off the bat, but it did eat a careless tuck that would have otherwise killed one of these, so it's not terrible. So I almost want to... No, you know what I think I'm going to do here? I think we're going to lay down the motor rifles and then kill this with the Cossacks. He's going to overdraw anyway. So that's kind of nice. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Naval Brigade here. Yeah, Careless Talk is a very good card. Its power kind of falls off as you transition to the late game, perhaps, you could argue, but I mean, we don't care about that. It's really... Let's play the Avenger. Oh, I guess that's true. We don't know which of our two things it's going to hit. But I mean, just getting an Avenger out would be fine. Although if it misses and he hits this, then he can move this up, kill this, which would be awkward. Still, I think that's worth it, though. The question is, which would we rather protect? I think we go for the 50-50 and just like bomb whatever. I don't think I want to expose the tank. I think I'd rather expose the Cossacks. So let's do this. And if he wants to move this up and kill this, we'll either finish it off with the bomber, or we could 83rd Naval Brigade. Would prefer not to do that, though. I think the reason is, honestly, probably mostly just because it's easy to play around, kind of. Like, even in, like, the situation that we saw here, like, this M4A1, I mean, I guess it put it kind of out of commission, but I don't know. I'm not gonna say the card is bad. It's like I would say the card's just good. Like, it's good. It's not overbearing or anything like that. It's just a solid card. So let's go. How much resources do we have? We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Start bombing this. Yeah, I think I like that. And we'll start with. Oh, he has another careless talk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Really gonna get punished by Eagle Claws if he's running it. But I'm not putting him on Eagle Claws. Could be wrong, though. Hit the literal worst card. I think we just play out another one of these then. And do we just play out the guard, actually? No, I think I need more pressure on the table. Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying. Like I said, there's give and take. The card is very good in the right situations, but because of the fact that it can be played around, or it's just outright awful in certain situations, means that that keeps it in check. Or it keeps it from feeling overly oppressive for the fact that it's a deal 3 for 1. Because yeah, otherwise it's like it's one of the most resource efficient damage damage orders or countermeasures, whatever you want to say in the game. Okay, what do we do here? I don't want to start giving him cards, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we just start eating some of his stuff. Opponent's just playing like German, Japan control. They're just trying to run us out of resources. If we can hit a series of bombers slash our mobilization, I'll be feeling a lot more confident. Yeah, that's a bad hit. Doesn't do anything. Okay, we're in a good spot now to start getting aggressive. Maybe I should have kept this. I probably should have kept this in hand, right? Yeah, our life total doesn't matter in this matchup. This was a bad play. I should have kept this in hand for the chance. Like, just make it so that this is... Losing this very valuable card was only a 50% chance rather than a 100% chance should he be playing another wolf pack. If he does play another wolf pack, though, I think he's going to fall super far behind. And we're just going to tempo him out of the game. Yeah, it also... Yeah, the Flampanzer was also bad. That was an excellent draw. Good game. Well, I'm tempted to keep that in hand because we obviously want to try this card out, but I think we need to throw these back. I might actually keep this in our opener. Maybe this is better than I thought. Nah. I think I'm wrong with that. Let's just toss it back. Oh, okay. Well, our deck wants us to have a Hellcat in our opener, it seems. So is our opponent also control? Okay. I don't think there's a... If I play this, I just kind of like start falling behind, I think. I might just have to let this die. Does that mean that I run out the other one, though? Or do I just start playing things that he can't, like, ping us with? I think I am supposed to run out this other one. And maybe it's 15th or just the first rifles the following turn. I'm surprised he's offering this trade. I mean, we're gonna take that for sure. I think I want to play this looking for something that can help deal with this. Like that. So this plus this is really good here. I don't think I need to play ZHUKOV this turn. We can actually do it next turn, because if we hit our natural 83rd Naval Brigade, we can play it out. If we hit the Blitzy infantry, that would also be good. Okay, I was gonna say, like, if he does nothing on his 5th turn, we're actually probably just gonna trade our Hellcat for this. Unfortunately, he discarded it, so that's not an option anymore. I might see what we hit here. Yeah, I think this is worth playing, because next turn... Ooh, that's pretty good, though. But I want to get the value off of this, because next turn he could play... It's like his Panzer IV turn, and... yeah, let's just... Yep. Or his... I was gonna say he could also play his Panther A, but then I'm fine doing this. And if he wants to eat this, we'll finish it off with the other 83rd Naval Brigade. Okay, that's a lot of tempo loss for him, kind of, so that's kind of good for us. Oh, maybe not. I was gonna say, he wasn't playing any... He didn't seem to have a use for all of his resources for the last little while. Yeah, that's unfortunate now. We do not have a clean answer to that. Oh, but he's not moving it up. Did I just play Caddy out? It probably just gets eaten by like a sudden strike. He didn't play sudden strike on his first few turns. It would be sudden strikes he would have drawn into in the last 7 draws. Which is possible. I don't know how we beat this card, honestly. Now that both of our 83rd Naval Brigades are gone. I guess we have bombers in this deck. What am I talking about? We just haven't seen any of them. I think I'm going to need to redraw with this. Yeah, but now this is too weak to that, unfortunately. Maybe he kills this, plays something else big, and then we can go 15th Avenger. No, looking like that's not the case. It's kind of awkward. This would only deal 1. Yeah, we have a lot of answers to it. We have a couple death from aboves too. Just sad that we're not finding them. The other awkward thing is that if we play this out, then the following turn, this can only deal 2 to this. And then we'd have to hope that this pings in order to finish him off. I don't think I'm in for that. I think we're just on the try to ping him out of the game plan now. Well, we found a use for our hammer. Oh, okay. We could use this. It doesn't feel good, but I think it's I think it's the plan. Good morning, Wirtz. How are you doing? If we can start if we can find a mobilize or another big bomber, I'll be feeling more confident. Yeah, like we don't care about our hand. Our hand's not good. I'll keep this just in case. Interesting that he went for that and not this. I guess he's just trying to preserve his life total as much as possible. Yep, looks like that's the case. Real question is, do I run this out or do I have to save it? I think I have to save it for removal. Plus he could just hit it with something else. I think we just hold tight here. Our life total's not that much in threat. Aren't discard cards so fun? Yeah, well, we're experimenting with some new stuff today, so hopefully it'll be good. All right, now we can't really race anymore. Yeah, we'll see though. That's a pretty good hit because that eats this. Boo, boo, discard. Boo. Like, where are our mobilizations? I just don't think we can race from this position anymore, so we'll just move on rather than play out this long drawn-out game. Oh, What was our life total there? 12? Maybe we could have come back from that. I forgot that that card was in our deck. It probably doesn't matter, though, because he has a unit clogging up the front line. Yeah, a good chance we still lose that game even with that draw, to be honest. Haven't really had a chance to see these things shine, unfortunately. Like, they would have been decent in that spot there if it wasn't for that airstrike. Okay, ramp. So we're probably dead. Ramp just beats mid-range, pretty much. We'll see. Like, maybe we can get under him. Like, we have some reasonably aggressive cards in our deck. But... this is a good, like, wall for him to begin, and we don't have a hammer anywhere in sight. Not sure why it took him so long to play that, but... good chance we just red banner this, looking for something better. 50-50 on the bomber. I hope you're happy taking out my 1-5. Do we rifle regiment hoping that this can live against that? He's shown us a Woken Giant and he's shown us this, and he can bomb with this and play out another one. But it's only a 50-50 on this. So that's not the worst. I don't want to ping that yet, because if we draw an Avenger... Oh wait, I can't play this yet anyway. That could be okay. It's probably just going to die to a second Avenger, but at least then we know he's Avengerless. Going for the 50-50. He failed. I think now's the window where I need to bomb this. Or I need to kill this and then hope to find an Avenger for the next thing. There we go. Okay, decent plays from our OP. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 6, 10. Yeah, I think that's fine then. I should have seen if that would hit first, obviously. This is problematic not so much because of the damage reduction, but because it's making our B-17 god-awful. Well, now's the time to see if we can hit something good. Of course we didn't. Words, man. Thanks for the subscription, dude. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your long time. You've been a long time follower of this channel, and I appreciate you being sub #1 for me. So that's awesome. Thank you very much. I guess here's hoping he doesn't have strategic bombing. If we lose this game, it's almost certainly because this B-17 didn't get the 66% chance. Well, one good hit deserves another, I suppose. This is the battle of the RNG. I think we're decently ahead. I think we're solidly ahead at this point. We've been... yeah. There was some good RNG on both sides, but, you know, we were a bit luckier. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he didn't find any, like, card advantage. And we had some decent top decks in like the mid game there with the double, like the back-to-back Avengers were really good. So despite the fact that our B-17 was god awful, that made up. We were able to have that kind of bad luck because of the good draws we had earlier. Assuming this is aggro. Could be wrong, though. Could be something experimental. Nope. Looks like solidly aggro. Oh yeah, we have some new emotes here we gotta use. I think we're just gonna take a hit from that. Actually, I think we need to do this. Next turn I probably play the first rifles, and then we look to hammer this. Now we just can't really afford to do that. We need to hammer his face. Or we need to hammer this. Yeah, ever since Katyusha got demoted to effectively to a 3-drop, these kind of decks are a little bit... The early game for the Soviet decks is not as strong. I'm actually going to play this out and see what he does. We kind of have to, like, just hope he has just a bunch of crappy units in hand. Guess we need to do this. We're just gonna slowly die to his, We're just gonna slowly die to his, whatever. His signal regiment. Don't leave home without Flampanzer, kids. Flampanzer, never leave home without it. Yeah, not that I don't think that the nerf was justified, it's just that, like, now... I think you need to be pairing Soviets with something like Germany to have more solid, like, early game removal, or, like, even... One of the things I was considering for this deck was the new card Patrol, which we're going to see in a US-German midrange deck that we're playing later today. We might want to be running some number of Patrol instead of, you know, something. I'm not sure what though. And the thing is, Patrol wouldn't have really helped us in that game because all of his stuff had 3 toughness because he had the early whatchamacallit. Yeah, Katyushas in the opener feel so bad now compared to before. Personally, I would have much preferred them just kind of remove the coin flip off the card and leave it as a 2-2, or leave it as a 1-1-2-0 blitz. I think the card was fine. Just the problem is that it traded, or it punched above its weight too often with the random extra damage. The other way to look at patrol is it's like a gunship mission that can hit, that's not restricted to hitting the support line. Yeah, that's like the main way I look at it. Obviously, the one has healing, and patrol has just some utility. But I think it gives US, like slower US decks, maybe a better way of controlling the board, because the fact that gunship mission couldn't hit the front line was a big deal, I think. So I'm interested to see how patrol shakes up the game. And of course it can be used in aggressively as well, because it removes guard, which is really, really good. I think I play that. The other worry I have for this deck, and obviously, you know, it's one thing to talk about it now when we're facing an air deck, but I was wondering if this deck doesn't want 1 or 2 copies of Blood Red Sky, because it does struggle against air decks a little bit, I would assume. This is the part where we get... He plays Shelling, I think. Like, how good would... Patrol would be great in this situation if we had it instead of these. I just kind of wanted a solid 4-drops in this deck, though. Soviets don't really have a solid 4-drop. I guess they have that new 5/3 ambush infantry, but... I don't know about that one. Okay, so we're just dead. Yeah, unfortunately didn't get the card we really needed. No. This one's looking grim. Yeah, this deck needs a more solid early game. I feel like if we can get to the mid to late game, we do well, but against a more aggressive strategies like we've seen these last 2 games, it kind of struggles. Is this worth keeping? It could hit something pretty bad, so... This could be okay. Okay. Next turn we might get to lay this down, shoot this, gain some life. That's rough. I guess we'll just... Now they're going to play Sendai and shoot us, but we can hammer. And that's probably it. I have a few options here. Kind of want to get this on the board ASAP. He got rid of the thing that could kill this. I don't think, unless he's also running Germany, he doesn't have a super clean way of dealing with this. Okay, that's great. So now we can kind of kill everything he has. Because we can hit this, trade into the other thing. Taking a lot of damage, but I mean, that's where we're at. Really needed that 2-3 to buffer our life total a little bit more this game. That play indicates air blitz, so I'm assuming that's what we're gonna see. Let's see if we can take this out. Okay. Take the front line with this, and I think we want to kill this. So now at least he needs double air blitz. Or he could have like air blitz. Like, we die to a lot of things over the next few turns. It doesn't matter if he kills us this turn. Chances are we just die in several turns. Could guard. And shoot. I guess I should have moved this up. Okay, that was a yeah. I forgot that that was a reason to trade into the... Oops, that's not what I wanted to click. That was a reason to trade into the thing. Good chance we still lose that game regardless, but we could have survived that turn. I should have just traded the plane into the other thing. We would have kept us at 5, so we would have been at 1 with a single air blitz, and then who knows? Maybe if he has to kill some of our stuff. But if I'm trading with the and the other thing is, if I'm trading with the plane there, then I could have played the new 5-5 and put it to the front line to put on a lot of pressure. So yeah, that was definitely a mistake. I wasn't really thinking about ambush and how it worked with the other thing. I think I like these. Interesting. Obviously, we have a lot of ways. We have, you know, if he fires with it, our Katyushas kill it. Even if he doesn't, we have bloody sickles. See if we can find them. If I Katyusha, he just Katyushas my Katyusha. But then I can hammer his Katyusha, and then I have some big stuff eventually to play. If he doesn't have Katyusha, this stands a better chance of living. Yeah, the AA gun is interesting. I actually have an idea for a deck that uses caddies and that AA gun alongside the new Japanese order target acquired, because that card seems insanely good with target acquired seems insanely good with artillery and of course blitz artillery. That's a problem. It's a lot of damage coming our way. Yeah, sure, now I get the bloody sickle. I think these need to be patrols. As much as I like this card, I think we're gonna switch this to patrol or something. Hammer, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can go here. Fire here. Assuming that's the elite he just pulled. Need to aggressively defend our life total here, so we're definitely trading into that, no questions asked, especially because it gives us 2 health. Fine to see this. This is a gain 2, plus we get to play our B-17 the following turn. Hoping he doesn't play something cheap. Oh, he did. Sad, sad day. I think we still need to play the B-17 though. Yeah, this is all good for me. I think it's time to see if we can get that elite. Yeah. Well, it's our first time we got to see tractor factories in action. It's pretty good in this board state because even if he has another Avenger, we still have a 5/5 to eat the next one. Sick. What do we think, guys? Do we want to stick with this list, or maybe think about throwing in some patrols? I think we'll stick to this list for this stream, and then we'll maybe reevaluate. The other thing this list is lacking, now that I'm thinking about it, is we don't have Chaikas. I can't remember what I replaced the Chaikas with. Well, we don't have Chaikas, which might be a mistake, because they're a nice early game play. For now that Katyushas were nerfed, I think Chaikas, your, in addition to those 2/3s, is like the best thing that you can be doing on 2 with the deck now. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I see. I know what you mean, Sino. I pretty much just took what was my US list and just replaced the top end with new top end and like low end with new low end. So like in theory it should perform fine, but it definitely hasn't been so far. But it is very mid-rangey. We are a very mopey mid-rangey deck. If we can get into the mid to late game, we do well. So what do we think? Is he playing countermeasures? No, he's just got a slow hand. I think we try to... Darn. Can this draw countermeasures? Shouldn't, right? Because it's an order. So he top decked that? That's too bad. This is fine, though. Hopefully this will get to eat this to make our Death from Aboves better. fine with this because we're going to draw another one of those. May as well take that out because there's a good chance our opponent spends the resource killing his thing here, which I'm fine with. Probably just gonna play these two next turn. We'll lead with this because I'm actually fine with that, with airstrike hitting that. I'd probably rather have all of these cards in hand than the 15th motor rifles. Definitely playing this before it gets discarded from our hand. This could hit that, which we couldn't play. It has a few things we can't play, so I don't think we're doing anything else on our turn. I think I'm okay moving this up. If he wants to throw this at it, I think I'm okay with that. Patrol on Takasagi would feel super good. To be fair, drawing two of these when a Takasagi dies also feels good, but I think the patrol is just better overall. Yeah, and then but then the question is, how much of an impact does our like cheap infantry make if we get them out a turn earlier, you know? Okay, I think I like this. We can kill the tank, finish off the Takasagi. Feels bad that we lost the Avenger to a From the Deep and then we lost our B-17. But it is what it is. I like... Let's try... That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, let's try this. Our opponent might use an Empire of the Sun on this, which means he's not using an Empire of the Sun. Like, we can't play around Empire of the Sun. Like, he's gonna draw infinite cards from Empire of the Sun no matter what we try to do. I think, Now we want to play ZHUKOV. Nah, that was a mistake. I'm probably supposed to play Tractor Factories there. Do I DFA this? I think I save it for something that's, like, chunkier. Because I can kill this. We'll see if this double taps. It did, so now we can do this. Nerdocalypse, thanks for the follow. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, like they were playing a value deck and we kind of like just tempoed them out of the game a little bit. Like there were a lot of turns where they weren't spending all of their resources and we were like and we were just more resource efficient than them that game. And I think and it seemed like it came down to that. Like they had a lot of discard effects, but then we just gassed right back up with mobilization. So it ended up not mattering. And he got some pretty bad hits off of the discard effects too, which didn't help. Which is why I just like that's why I personally don't see the appeal of discard decks, but to each their own, you know. I really want to play more with this card. This card seems really good. Like it's just like a must-answer threat. It makes me wonder if we could be better in the early game and like top end like this is fine, but that seems super wrong, right? Obviously the US bombers are just so good. This card did work that last game. I feel like it's wrong to cut mobilization too, because this deck would really want card draw. It's just like we have an ally that's one that we're using to fill in some of our weak points, this deck's weak points, but it's like it's stretched too thin. We want it to do so many things, but it can't do it all. I'm gonna play this out and leave it in smoke screen. It might seem crazy, but I have a crazy idea. He might hammer this, just move this up, but I kind of need to like caddy and trade into this, or we're just never ever taking the front line again. Okay, now I'm just gonna caddy, eat two of his things. And then I think we want to red banner this because it stands to give us the most value. And now that can trade, that can eat this potentially, so that's nice. He probably has a hammer for this though. Yeah, it looks like he's debating what's the more valuable target. It's probably this, honestly. Oh, no hammer, okay. Definitely killing this. I think we lay this down. First thing he's gonna do is see if he can kill this, which he didn't. Does he have a bloody sickle follow-up? He does. Do we go for the greed play? I think we can be conservative. Yeah, it definitely seems like the better T-34. Potentially. It's +1 cost, but -1. Oh, like the Blitzy T-34? Oh yeah, it's definitely better than that one. I thought you meant the T-34-85. There's reasons you'd... I think they're competing. I think you're running this before you're running the regular T-34 for sure. But I think there's still reason you might consider the other one over this. Well, I don't want to give him a 3-2 fighter. I think we're gonna have to. Alternatively, we could just play out more stuff. No, he has to deal with this. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think we go for... Our RNG has been on point today. Yeah, I guess for its rarity level, this is something that would be very appealing, or be a very difficult to deal with card in the early game. Lower on the ladder, that is. Okay, well, we're definitely eating the 1 artillery. Or are we just moving this forward? No, I think we're doing this. Our opponent seems to be playing a more aggressive, like a more aggressively slanted mid-range deck. So I think we're in a good spot so long as we're keeping our life total healthy. Perfect. So now this thing gets to shine. May as well move this up and threaten the Katyusha. Forces him to use an activation here. Yeah, I hear you. I tend to prefer more aggressively slanted mid-range myself. Let's kill this so we can draw cards. Beautiful. The thing is, I really like US cards, though. I really like ramp decks, actually. But I really like the big US bombers. They're just super fun. Okay. Yeah, playing these bombers just feels so good, and it's fun trying to control the board such that these hit things that you care about. So now I'm not sure how he wins. Based on the cards I've been seeing in his deck, I'm not sure how he wins. At this stage, like, we seem like our health total is just far too high. Nope. What was this again? I already forgot. I don't think we need to kill that yet. No, maybe we do. Is it crazy to give him a card draw to ensure that this... Oh, this has smoke screen. He can't even attack it anyway. Yeah, let's just drop this. Even if it hits the artillery, whatever. He'll need a bloody sickle to finish this, and even if he has that, then this can kill this, and he'll need a bloody sickle to finish this. And then we have another one. OP's just done. He's like, I've had enough. We've been playing an hour with this deck. I think I'm gonna call it there. So yeah, final thoughts on this one is that I think ultimately it kind of struggles a bit in the early game against more aggressive strategies, but if you can make it to the mid to late game, if you can control the board, if you can make it to the mid to late game, obviously this deck has a ton of punch to it. 70s Rifle Regiments, it's just all must answer threats at the top end, right? Once you start playing your 6K plus cards, you just can't, there's just so much value. It might be right to just, since our early game just sucks anyway, I wonder if it's right to just have like a small ramp package with US just so we can get to this stage early or faster. Problem then is that you start falling further behind on board, and then it's like, how do you catch back up? Anyway, things to consider. All right, we're gonna end